Pretty good game. Solace is maxed out, kind of reigns supreme.
So yeah, I've played Solace. He's a very aggressive Terran. A Terran who's more likely to fail by getting caught up in an attack and getting caught off on creep, as opposed to being a Terran who dies up just because he sits back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
definitely.
if he's gonna lose, it's definitely gonna be an overextension.
Well, in the top left-hand corner, we have GRITair, TrG, Rival Gaming. Then in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Confederation Solace barcode, whatever floats your boat.
Code. Solace will do just fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to see his TVZ. I haven't seen much of it, but from what I hear, it's pretty solid.
I've played him firsthand. I can tell you it is in fact solid. He definitely prefers an aggressive style, as mentioned earlier. He'll go for the standard. Yeah, I think we're going to see a basic kind of barracks Reaper into Hellion timing out of him. I don't think he's one to deviate too much, though we could see one of those newer Hellbat pushes coming up. Hard to say.
Yeah. He's actually doing a Reaper fast expand at the moment, so I mean, I'd really want to see what he does with this. Maybe like make two or three Reapers and maybe poke at it, or just go use one Reaper and scout. What do you feel?
That's a good question. I know a lot of players will leave the one Reaper at home because they are scared of maybe those two Lings running by, but just looking at this map, the Reaper's probably going to travel the path the two Lings would travel. The only circumstance I would leave the Reaper at home or recommend it is if you see this drone scout, because what Zergs tend to do is they actually take this drone, scout the base, and then they leave it outside your natural sometimes just to harass.
This is quite weird.
Extractor
GRITair has not actually put down an expo yet, which is kind of late. Am I right? And he didn't throw down a gas, but he has his pull down early with the pull first.
Okay, so did Solace cheese in the previous game? Did he?
No, he didn't actually.
Okay, well, this map is really good for proxies, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
and it's just it's one of the better map for proxies. I've been 8-8'd on this map, so probably he was just playing safe. Unfortunately, he's clearly lost the build door opener. Aside from just delaying his hatchery and his drones, the worst thing to come in the situation is his speed is going to be so late, if at all, which makes me suspect he's not going to get it.
Yeah, he didn't even throw down the gas, which is quite weird. I don't know. Usually you would see that, or you think they would take a fast few bases or something like that, but I mean that just didn't happen.
So from here, if I'm Solace, I'm probably expecting a roach play, which has grown very common these days. So that's what I would bet on coming out of the Zerg, because he's a little bit behind at this point. He has these two Lings beating away at the CC, which is very nice. And this is probably why some people. But he didn't even make a second Reaper. He only made the first Reaper, interestingly enough.
Yep. But he's probably gonna go for some. Did the Zerg set this reactor on the barracks? No, it didn't. So I'm not sure if it knows if it's going Hellions or not. Which is
if the Zerg is going to go Roach Warren, we're probably going to see two gases come down the next 10 or so seconds. Usually that's the timing. Otherwise, he's going to try to play a straight up game, but he's not really taking a fast third. He's going to have his third queen, but it's going to be a bit later than certain builds. It just seems like the Zerg. Yeah, here we go. It's Roach play. So the Zerg is going to be throwing down those probably two Evos soon, as soon as he gets 100 gas.
Those two Lings delayed the command center pretty well, if you ask me.
That is funny.
Yeah. Yeah, so some roach play. If Zerg does this right, these Hellions are going to get hard countered, which is kind of sad. But at the same time, I guess he kind of anticipated it correctly, if you ask me.
There's the Roach Warren. Did I call it or did I call it? Yeah.
Call the tramp.
So I would say the Zerg's play here is characterized by fear. right? He went for the early 15 pool because he was so sure his opponent would 8-8. And then he went for the Roach Warren because one, it gets some aggression out, which he needs because he's already behind simply by his build order. And two, it allows him to stop the Hellbat pressures, which have been very popular as of late.
Yeah, I mean, especially in most premier events lately, with all the Terrans doing that, pretty much kicking Zergs out. But still, is this hatchery supposed to be wall off, or is that the macro hatch? Because that's pretty weird.
Yeah, I was gonna mention the third thing, like characterized by fear, is that he didn't even go for a third.
Yeah.
And he's, to his credit though, he is somewhat meting Solace because Solace is going for that Hellbat play.
Yep.
Look at this. He has the one medevac, and he's going to push out with 6 or so Hellions. And this is going to be a push that's not going to be too effective, but there's no units on the field.
Yep. This is really not good for the Zerg. I mean, well, his roaches are about to pop, but still, like, that should have been there. Actually, you know what?
Well,
He scans and he
okay.
doesn't see any units, so he's gonna confidently go up here. But still, he's gonna be kind of
Oh,
surprised about
he has
these.
to save these queens.
roaches.
You can't let the
Yep.
Hellbats get too close to the queens.
Oh, and
So
saves
it's
one.
good that he saved that because that's the transfuse one.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the important one. Oh, I think he's gonna hold this from here on out.
yeah,
He
it
has a
looks
second
like so.
transfuse queen. I hope he doesn't lose that. Ooh, actually, I think that's that. Well, don't count him out.
Oh,
Problem with
yeah, no,
stuff
he
like
got
this-
it. He got the medevac too, which is pretty bad. That's
is
kind of like. Actually, no, the medevac is still there. It was behind the
Yeah.
overlords.
Are those overlords just chilling? But behind this, like we see, is there a third CC for Solace? No, there's
No,
not.
there's not. He just threw down 2 extra barracks as he was pushing out.
So that's probably because he's suspecting a roach all in himself. But we're not seeing any upgrades coming out of the Zerg. He's just making mass roaches and probably getting roach speed.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Where's
And Solace is playing scared because he knows his opponent is on 2 bases, and his opponent got a ton of roaches and deflected his push.
where's Solace's eBay at?
Solace didn't build an eBay yet.
Oh wow.
But he didn't see any evolution chambers, right? And Zergs always build the evolution chambers at the front, so I don't think he would feel rushed to do it. Yeah, this is going to probably be our Baneling Roach Hall, and this third is so late.
It's 10-minute third for Zerg is really not good.
Yeah,
I think if he went roaches, he would feel pretty safe going for the third. If you ask me, kind of hard countering that. But I don't know. I think he would play it a little too scared in this game, and that's why he's quite behind. I mean, he built a macro hatch.
Yeah, this macro hatch needs to be the third. This is just it's ludicrous to build this macro hatch first because you don't even have the money to spend all the larvae because you're making roaches. You're making roaches. I don't understand. And now this drop is going to come in and do a ton of damage because Widow Mines are still good.
Yep.
Yeah!
They are. But he has a lair, which he could kind of make an Overseer. But still, actually, he is making an Overseer. But still, this is just kind of like, I don't know. I kind of feel like both of these players are like playing behind. But I think the Zerg is way more behind. Like, this is just kind of weird to see.
He's over-droned his main, and he just lost like 10 drones. So he could have been saturated at his third right now. How do I open up the tab that shows me what units have been lost?
I have no idea. That's right. Just asked me the same exact thing. I couldn't tell him.
Yeah, I would like to see how many. I know someone's pinging in TeamSpeak, but whatever.
Units lost. It'll tell you the resources lost if you press L, I believe. Or Which the Zerg has lost almost twice as much.
So there's really not too much to say about this so far. We're seeing Solace get up his third CC. He's a little bit less scared now. He has his siege tanks up. He's done a bit of damage. He knows that any Zerg push will be 0-0 because he hasn't really seen any upgrades or evolution chambers. He's pretty much ahead at this point. Not much else to say. It's gonna be he's getting his upgrades, knowing that the Zerg is gonna sit back and play a macro game.
Yeah, this is kind of like I don't know. Solace seems pretty comfortable with this style anyway. Like, he just seems like I see him when I see him play Terran. He always has that kind of mech like open up with slightly bio into mech style. It's pretty solid to see him watch all this. To watch him do this.
Somehow we missed him getting Overlord drops, which is interesting. But he
Yeah.
just has so little map control, evidenced by this two-pronged attack.
Yeah,
But
and
I
he might
really
lose
don't
his
know.
third to this little drop right here.
Yeah.
That's just a lack of attention. Oh my god.
When you get the Overlord drop, you what you above all need is
Yeah.
to create map control so that you can safely get those Overlords across, so that you can safely set it up. In this situation where he's being constantly like pecked away at by drops, and he just pretty much doesn't have any creep spread or any units. He hasn't even taken a single Zelnaga. These Zelnagas are free. No one is contesting these Zelnagas.
Oh look the Baneling drop in the natural.
Well, let's see what the
Oh
effectiveness
man.
is.
He lost 18 workers because of that.
Oh wow.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive. Bailing drops are definitely something that's not used nearly enough.
I think after losing this hatchery, I think that puts him a little bit like less behind than he is, because like losing that hatchery after and look, there's another one coming at the
If
third.
this drop is effective, then I think he's okay. If this drop
Yeah.
kills a ton of SCVs, then
And
he might
he's
be
not
alright.
reacting at all. Look at oh my god.
Oh my god! Now he's gonna go into the main. That was brutal. Will these Marines cut them off? Well, these SCVs aren't gonna die. He knows now.
Yeah.
But this is something that Solace is gonna have to worry about the rest of the game, because he's not really dealing with Mutalisks.
Yeah, that's 19 workers killed for him. That's pretty bad.
Hmm.
I
Like,
mean, the Zerg has lost just as much, and this actually kind of almost equals up the units lost tab. But
Well,
still,
not quite. The Zerg is still about 1,000.
like he's lost so much more in resources than Solace has, but units lost, they're pretty equal. That still doesn't change the fact that I don't know. This game is a little bit back and forth with the amount of stuff lost. You ask me, like he lost almost 2 mineral lines full of SCVs, and then like I don't know, he has to pick up from there. But still, I'd say Solace is still quite ahead.
Yeah, this is over. He shouldn't have come back in for this drop because he saw the missile turrets before, and he knew his opponent was building to counter. Which means he should have suspected that another drop wouldn't have worked out, and he just threw the 2 Overlords away for nothing, full of Banelings. That's a lot of money that he can't afford to give up at this point.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, if you actually look,
is there a
Zerg is actually up by over 10 supply, and actually he's getting his 4th base, which is I guess pretty good for him. But Solace is coming out with a big bio attack.
But there's something. All right, let's see. Okay, what is the Zerg just making now? That's a bit of a problem. What's the big edge that's gonna win Solace this game? Probably.
Yeah, but Solace has quite a bit of tanks. If he can get a good position up on this high ground and kind of edge his way forward, I think he can take this battle pretty like handsomely. And this
is
Solace is known for like really good mechanics, and hopefully he won't just get caught out like this, like almost like how he is now. But
well, it's irrelevant. Look at the upgrades. Solace is 2 upgrades ahead, and so are his siege tanks by 1. It's a huge advantage for 0-0. The Zerg's upgrades are never gonna finish. Is he gonna clean this push up? No, the reinforcing.
No, there's no way. I mean, look at it. He just lost everything. That's kind of.
It's
kind of sad for the Zerg.
Like the Zerg just forgot about them after a while.
Yeah, I think he was just like focused mostly on like getting his bases back up. I mean, that's why he kind of took the 4th preemptively, like just because like he was so behind. He thought he just needed to get an economic advantage, so he just kind of threw up that 4th blindly. Then I mean, look.
We missed more Overlord drops back down there, but I don't think they matter at this point. But yeah, no, it's just if the Zerg had had 2-2 or even 1-1 at that fight, it would have gone a lot differently. But
the harass has been pretty good from him, but still, like I mean, I don't think that was enough. Like I don't know. I think he just should have took this engagement a lot better. Maybe like flanked around or done something. But like I mean, he's just losing everything. I mean, like look at like Solace. I mean, he's splitting up his army pretty well. He has his tank in a nice position. I mean, he's like throwing down. You know, he's gonna take out this 3rd yet again. So I mean, this is kind of a losing battle for the
I still think like this game was lost long before the fight actually happened. Solace could have messed up, but just going into a fight with 2-1, 2-0 upgrade, a 1-0, 2-2 on the way against 0-0, building evolution chambers. And look, the Zerg's getting all 3 upgrades at the same time, as if he knows how bad he messed up.
Yeah. I mean, he's trying to do this like little ling rung by to the 3rd, but it's not going to do anything whatsoever. I mean, it's just it's done from here.
It's 2-2 versus 0-0. What can
Yeah,
you?
and the
That's
GG comes out.
important.
Yeah.
How many lings can a single 2-2 marine kill? I wonder if it's
Yep.
Stim.
But quite a bit, especially if they barely have any upgrades themselves. Yep, a good game from both of them.
Yeah, it was reasonable, I suppose. Zerg didn't have any creep spread. He threw away overlords full of banelings, at least 2 for nothing. He forgot his upgrades. Oh, Liaison's online. Should we, like, bugger off, I wonder?
Yeah.